first Phoenix house yesterday. It was great.
Way to go. Charlie said that 6 people came through his last open house. Way to go, Charles.
Phoenix house yesterday. It was great.
Way to go. There we go. We got some echo going. Charlie said that 6 people came. Well, that happened. Trying to close things down on
That's
my
it.
computer. Everything's echoing. All right. We are stable. We're stable. Well, some of us.
I have to learn about land development today.
You get to learn about land development today? Heck yeah.
Yeah, my client's interested in this land deal. No clue how to put that together, but I'm gonna chat GPT the heck out of that this morning. So, because real estate mom and dad are out in San Antonio, so I'm on my own for a little bit.
Nah, you got this.
I got it.
You got this. Other win celebrations? The 9 of you that don't have cameras on? It's okay. You don't have to have your camera on. I don't care. I'm just gonna make fun of you, make you feel like I'm singling you out. Well, it's Tuesday. You know how I know that? Because I'm wearing a purple shirt. It's Purple Shirt Tuesday. Which tells me we should have some situations to talk about. There was some chatting yesterday I saw in our WhatsApp group. If you're not part of our WhatsApp group, I'm sorry. You can have the link. We can add you there. But there was some conversations around, someone asked, how do you guys feel about discounts and compensation? I think that's a great conversation, don't you? Okay. Between buyers and sellers, doesn't matter. Who sets compensation?
We do.
We do. Yeah. Conversation that we set our value and say, yeah, this is our value. This is what I expect to be paid. My professional fee. And the buyers or sellers agree to that fee up front. Now, what happens if you're in a competitive situation where maybe you're on a listing and the other agents are offering less?
You already negotiated your compensation with your buyer. So if the seller isn't going to cover it, your buyer would pay the difference.
Okay, that's for a buyer. I'm talking about a listing. You're on a listing appointment and the seller's, you're like, hey, another agent said they would do it for less.
Tell them to go kick rocks.
Oh, you
Good.
well, ask them what they're offering, and then tell them what you're offering. Or I have been thinking about this a little bit lately for my listings, like if I would be even offering like maybe a tiered offering, like to have them select, right, my compensation if they want to go higher, lower, or in the middle.
There's a lot of people do that, the 4, 5, 6 approach,
Right.
whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Them why?
What's that?
Ask why, like why they want to discount it, and then go from there. Because I think
Yeah.
that would. Yeah.
You explained why you're worth that much.
Your value comes from the presentation, right? You have your presentation in front of them. You're going over all of the things that you do to sell their house and to maximize their profit. Most people, and a lot of agents get hung up on this, is they're like, oh, I'm gonna have to negotiate my commission. Most people, when they see your value, aren't going to. They're not going to nickel and dime you. But here's the thing. It's just a normal objection. We isolate objections by saying, other than blank, what's keeping you from blank? It's pretty simple. Joanne, other than the other agents offering a percent less, what's keeping you from working with me today?
Right. Yeah, that's just the only thing. Like I wanted to save money.
Oh, absolutely, Joanne. Would you rather save money or make more of it?
Make more, of course.
Well, do you believe that with our systems and the processes that I've shown you in our seller's guide and how we handle your listing, that we're going to help you net more money?
I mean, it looks like it. It looks like you're going to be doing more.
Yeah. So don't let the compensation be the only thing that keeps us from working together. I see that you see the value.
Right.
Sign right here.
Well, then also too, like you're fighting for your compensation, like right off the bat, and they weren't, right? They were like really quick to discount it, and they're kind of showing their worth right away. Like
Yeah.
you're
A
playing
good-
with their equity.
Another great question. What else did they give away?
Mhm.
Oh, the other agent said they'll do it for 2.5%. Okay. What else did they give away? I've said, you know what? I've told people I'm a 4% realtor. That's what I charge. The buyer side, well, someone said they're going to do it for less. That's great. My track record shows me that I can charge whatever I want because I bring results that make my sellers happy. And if the compensation's the only thing that's going to keep us from working together, then clearly you don't see the value in what I offer. Especially if it's a difficult house and I know it's going to take a lot of work. Who has the ultimate decision to reduce their fees or not?
You.
We do.
We do, right? I wouldn't arbitrarily reduce my commission. I don't. But ask him, right? Other than blank, what's keeping you from working with me today? Well, Serena, I don't want to pay 3%. Okay. How about we just take it out of escrow then, so you don't have to pay it up front?
How do we do that?
Don't we do that already?
I don't know.
Right? You just think about that. Like, it's like people say, I don't want to pay 3. You're not paying it, you know? We're just going to collect it when the deal closes, so you don't have to pay it up front.
Right. How do you handle a situation where you've already submitted your uh, compensation to the listing agent and we're requesting 3% and then they counter with 2.5? So how do you go back and try to fight for that 0.5%?
You tell your buyers, hey, they came back and they're going to give you everything else but the 3%, which means just an inch. It's about whatever the sales price is. Tell them that's a $1,500 increase to your buyer's closing costs. But they accepted everything else.
Okay.
Would you like me to go back and push for more? Some agents, especially the one you're working with, will tell their sellers, you know what? I'll get you a reduced commission on the other side. So it doesn't matter what the offer is, they're going to get you a 2.5% or even less because they promise to get a reduced commission. So one way you can do that is if you know you've got someone that calls it, seller's only doing X amount. Great. Factor that into your negotiations. If you have a $300,000 deal and you know you need 3% in closing costs because the buyer's buying down the rate or they have some, financial needs, that's fine. Ask for 3.5% in closing costs. Submit
At what point?
3% in seller compensation, set 3.5% at closing cost. That way they can take away the 0.5% on your seller compensation, feel like they gave you a no, and you've already got this structured into the deal.
At what point do you do that though? What if
When you
they
first offer
counter?
the deal, your negotiations happen when you go under contract. After the fact, you're just mitigating. You're not going to renegotiate. You're not going to reopen up things. Now, if you go through inspections and there's all kinds of stuff wrong, you can open that can of worms again. You had a buyer broker conversation with your with your client before they signed the buyer broker that laid out your professional fee. Right? 3%, 4%, 5%, whatever it is. Then you get to go fight for that with the seller's agent. Say, hey, I want to get paid this amount. Just because someone else is paying for half your groceries doesn't mean you don't get to take half your groceries. You just have to pay for the other half. Instead of paying for all of them. Make sense? You got a 3% buyer broker agreement on a $300,000 house. Oh, they only came back at 2.5%. A lot of agents going to play nice, don't take offense to this, and be like, I'll just reduce my fee, don't worry. No, you've done your job. You got them everything they wanted on the deal. The seller just isn't going to pay their fee. They're going to have to pay some of it. It's a $1,500 increase. At
Would that,
300,000, 0.5% is $1,500.
Dan, would that have to be in the buyer broker to begin with? So if your buyer broker says
Your
3%,
buyer broker up front, period, is set, period.
Right.
Not changing, period.
no, but what I'm saying is, would it have to be like, would you have to have the verbiage in there? If it says 3%, then would you have to have the verbiage that says something like, if not paid by the seller, then buyer agrees to pay the difference, or no?
No. That's what the buyer broker agreement says, is that the buyer is going to pay me 3%.
Mm-hmm.
And if I get the seller to pay for some of it, that'll be credited against what the buyer owes. I don't have to put the language in there that the buyer is going to pay the difference, because that is the agreement. The buyer is going to pay me 3%. The buyer has agreed to pay the broker 3%, 4%, whatever it is, X percent.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go negotiate with the seller on a seller compensation addendum, or whatever form you guys use in California, and ask the seller to compensate the buyer's broker side X percent. If there's a difference, then the buyer covers it in their closing costs. If there's a surplus, being that, hey, the seller's offering 4% and your buyer broker's only 3%, that 1% goes to the buyer as closing cost support. Pretty neat, huh?
But my question is, when you request the 3% from this listing agent and then they counter with 2.5, where do I negotiate? No, I want to increase closing costs now.
So Serena, when you do the counter to their counter, you're going to increase the concessions to 3 to 3.5, and you're going to leave the sellers at 2.5 because now it covers that 0.5 difference. Does that make sense? So they're going to counter you, and you're going to counter them back.
Okay, that's what was my question. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Are you in the shower? It echoes really bad in there.
I am. I'm so sorry, but I am.
Okay. Nailed it. But Serena, counter 2. Where do you negotiate that? Counter 2. If you come back to me with counter 1 saying you're gonna give you everything you want, but this, I'm gonna call up the listing agent. I'm gonna say, hey, thank you for the counter. I see that everything's in place there. The buyer really needs everything covered, so let's go ahead and increase this to 3.5%.
Okay.
That's counter 2. Don't be afraid to ask. You want to know something? That agent you're working with has never countered me on my compensation when I've done deals with him. Do you know why?
Why?
Because he knows I'll fight him. And I will not make it an easy deal for the seller.
It wasn't so much I was afraid. It was more like I didn't know what to do.
Counter
That's
2.
right. Yeah,
Girl, you have 15 different ways to get a hold of me. Why didn't you?
Yeah.
The first time I heard
next
about
time.
this is when you were asking me how to reduce your commission. Now, let me tell you guys, I care so much about your performances and getting paid. Not that it helps me. Some of you it helps me. But my first question is always, why? Why are we reducing your fee? Because you've done your job. You're like, well, it's a good family friend and I'm taking care. Okay, that's fine. You've made the decision based on the familiarity or the relationship, and that's fine. I don't want you to arbitrarily give away your income, right? I want you to go into Best Buy and I want you to stand at the register and I want you to tell them I want 30% off. And they're going to look at you like you're crazy. You're like, I'm not buying this unless you give me 30% off. Are they going to give you the discount?
No.
Just you're gonna leave the TV right there on the counter and walk away. That's what the negotiations look like sometimes in our business. Sellers are sitting there at the table saying, you know what? I'm not going to work with you unless you give me blank. Know your value, know your worth. I don't know if you've dealt with a difficult buyer or a difficult seller, but in my experience, the ones that fight me on the compensation the most are the most difficult people to deal with.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, those are the ones that I should have said no to you. And they're fighting over $1,500, $3,000. I've gone back and looked at deals and I've been like, you know what? Based on that seller and based where I knew I could have sold that house and I had things in place, they gave away $15,000 in concessions and discounts, plus had $9,000 in repairs. I'm like, okay, so you're saving 1%, so $4,000 cost you $25,000. Because I don't just protect you on the purchase price. Where else do we negotiate in the contract?
Binzer.
All the repairs, right? The repair request. Where else?
Time frame. Close of escrow time frame.
Time frame. Somebody be smart and say everything.
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 Everything. We can literally negotiate everything in the contract. So if we're not protecting them everywhere, then yeah, they're going to be a value shopper. They're looking for the lowest price tag on the shelf. You just became a transactional agent, not a fiduciary. Why do people buy and pay for expensive lawyers?
Because they're worth it.
Okay. Right. Anyone else think that same thought? Show of hands. Because they're worth it. Why do you think lawyers can charge more?
Because they do more?
Because they do more. I have a higher win success rate. I have a higher, service for my clients, whatever. The last time I had to hire a lawyer, I didn't go to the cheap one. I didn't go to Yelp and go cheapest lawyer in Tucson. I went to my friends and said, who do you know that's an absolute pit bull? Who do you know that is rabid that I have to keep on a chain that will go out there and take someone's leg off for me? I get the, hey, there's this one girl. She's not cheap though. What do you think my response is? Oh man, you think I can get a discount? Or do you think it's, I don't care what the cost is. I need this done. You need to operate in such a level that when somebody says, hey, I need an agent that can go out there and take somebody's head off. Y'all. Me. Because I'm not just fighting for your family, I'm fighting for mine. I'm not just protecting your transaction, I'm protecting my brokerage. I'm out there being that $500 an hour lawyer, that $1,500 an hour lawyer. Anyone ever heard the name Johnny Cochran? Sheldon, you're way too young. Right? Why is Johnny Cochran's name so infamous?
The glove don't fit, you must quit.
He is known for getting people off of murder. This man is one of the biggest junkyard dogs in lawyering. Do you think he's cheap? Nope. So let's go back to what we do. How are we different than a lawyer? Well, we don't practice law, we uphold it. Okay, I get you that. We don't create law, we follow it. Okay, I'll give you that. But are we not protecting somebody's legal and financial interests? Check. Are we not guiding somebody through a very specific and somewhat tempestuous environment? Check. Are we not making sure that they're making good, sound decisions that will reverberate through time? Check. Now, lawyers, love them. They've done a ton of work. They've gone to school. They've gone to classes. They've learned their craft. They've done an incredible amount of work, far succeeding what any real estate agent will. Yes, I just made lawyers better than you, but in honesty, they are. They're licensed at a different level. But it's a good parallel to show a good lawyer can charge more because they're worth it. I don't know why we arbitrarily keep real estate agents at the same level. Like, we're all the same. I've met lawyers that have shown up with pants that are way too baggy and shirts you can tell stopped fitting a few years ago, and a briefcase that needs to be replaced a decade before, right? And you see them and you're just like, I don't know if I want to work with this person. And I've seen the lawyers that pull up in the super flashy and fancy cars and they get out with ego and arrogance and they're just like, I'm better than you. And same thing. I don't know if I want to work with this person. But when somebody says, call this girl, she's an absolute junkyard dog. She's not cheap, but she's worth it. I don't care what she looks like, what she drove, what office she had. All I care about is someone showed me that she had results. So how do you get other people to show potential buyers and sellers that you get results?
We'll let you
Do more.
Get the results first.
Do more. Aiden said that. Sheldon, do the results first. Well, in your case, Sheldon, you haven't done anything. Where can you get that leverage?
I don't know.
Okay, who do you work for?
The brokerage, Keller Williams.
Okay, that's one thing, right? Who do you work for?
The client.
Right. But you have the brokerage reviews in our prominence. You have your team's reviews in prominence. Right? Can you not lean in on that? I'm a brand new agent. How can I stand out against someone who's been in business for 20 years? Or maybe I'm the first time doing this price point or this type of house. How can I stand out?
You leverage those statistics, their stories.
Stories. But can I not showcase that I've got support, right? Why are you hiring me? Because you know what? My team is a pit bull. Raise your hand if you've got somebody you can call right now in real estate that's an absolute pit bull. 3 of you. 5 of you. 7 of you. Okay? Has anyone ever called me because they had a tough situation? And did I back down from it? No, I'm ready to fight. But I want you guys to know that you don't have to be the pit bulls. You can just know the pit bulls. Why am I worth it? Because with me, you get all of this. That's value. A new lawyer does the same thing. Why would you why hire us for your law firm? Well, when you hire me, you get the entire team at Did We Cheat Him and How? No one caught the joke. It's okay.
I did.
Right? When you hire me, you get the entire law firm of Ditcher, Quick, and Hyde. The best defense and divorce attorneys on the planet. When you hire me, you get the entirety of Team Integrity. When you hire me, you get the entirety of my brokerage at your backing. Not only me, but you get a multitude of people at your back to protect you in this endeavor. It's not just about the sales price, and that's what a lot of cheap discount brokers are going to look for. I'll get you, we'll save you a percentage. Okay, great. I'm going to save you 4% by not hiring me at all, right? Go sell your house on your own. Oh, you don't want to do that? You want the protection? Okay. Because based on my history, based on my brokerage, we've gotten sellers more money and we've protected them better. It's not just about the sales price, it's about everything else that goes in a purchase contract. I'm going to protect you for the negotiations on timelines. I'm going to protect you against the negotiations on any repairs. I'm going to protect you against every other contingency that lays in the document that the buyer is going to submit to you. It's not just the purchase price. At the end of the day, I'm going to save you way more than the 1% difference that you're arguing between me and the other agents on. Guys, this isn't a cost issue. It's a value issue. Remember this, in the absence of value, the only thing you can negotiate is price. Right? What does that mean? In the absence of value, the only thing you can negotiate is price.
If they don't see value in you, then the only thing you could like put on the table is dropping the price that you charge.
Exactly, Aiden. Thank you. If they don't see your value, all they see you as is a price. Okay, raise your hand if you go on Amazon and check the price of something before you buy it in the store. Who's ever ordered something on Amazon instead of picking it up off the shelf because it was cheaper on Amazon? You're like, I can wait 2 days. Right? That is price shopping. Commodities become prices. You are not a commodity. You are a service. You are a fiduciary. You are a protectorate. So work on your presentations to be able to hone in on the value the buyers or sellers are looking for. I've got a 29-page document, actually 34-page listing presentation right here. Do I go over all 34 pages? No. What do you think I go over?
The main stuff.
Not even that.
Your value.
Not even that.
The process.
It's important to them.
What do you got? I will ask them. So I will put this down and I'll just leave it closed. I'll be like, so I'd love to get to know you a little bit better. What are you looking for in your representation? Why am I asking that? Someone other than Lydia?
So you can find out what's important to them, and then you can hone in on those.
Oh my God. Sheldon, you're a genius. How did you get so smart?
Have a great coach.
How are you going to know what's important to them if you don't ask? I've had 1,001 coaching conversations and 1,001 recruiting appointments and 1,001 listing presentations. Not a single one of them were the same. Not a single one. But people, oh my God, they will tell you exactly what they want to hear when you ask them. So, tell me what you're looking for. What are you looking for in blank? And then go and showcase those things in your presentation. Then go and hound on the fact you do X, Y, and Z, which matches exactly what they want in someone like you. Hey, Serena, since we've gone over all the things that you were looking for in an agent, what else stands out to you that you would find value in?
Time.
Great. Can I show you how myself and my team are going to help you save time?
Of course.
Right? Now I know. So she's already given me X, Y, and Z, and now we're adding time. Guys, you have 1,001 ways to show value. And if you don't take the time to ask, hey, what's important to you? Are you going to talk about a bunch of shit that doesn't matter to them? Yeah. Buyers and sellers. Sit down, find out what's important to them. Stop being a price tag, start being valuable. Was today worth your time?
Absolutely.
Good. hopefully today, moving forward, every one of you make more money in every transaction you have because you're going to suit yourself up as something valuable, not just another agent. I was at lunch the other day with my wife for her birthday. We went to Safe's across the street. At that time, there were 12 agents having lunch in a place that sits about 40 people. 12 agents. And I laughed to myself. We're like cockroaches. The only way to stand out is to get people to know you and refer you. So go be valuable. Go connect with people. Because in the absence of value, all you can negotiate is price. So go create massive amounts of value. Thank you so much for my Dan talk this morning. Today, if you guys are in the area, come by 11 o'clock at the office. Jake and I are going to be working on some AI stuff. A little AI meeting here at the office at 11 o'clock. If you're in California, you should probably start driving now. You'll get halfway here before the meeting starts. And then by the time you get here, it'll be over and you'll be sad, but we can still go have some food. The rest of you, if I can see you at 11, I'd love to see you at 11. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being a part of my morning, guys. And if you want, like I said, the Rise and Thrive community, I love seeing the questions in there, starts the conversation off. Plus, it lets me know what you want to talk about. If you want access to that, just let me know. I'll send the link to you. Other than that, have a fantastic day. Happy Purple Shirt Tuesday, everyone. Slow high.